This is Nabaat. I'm Mr. T Stories channel, of course. And I'm gonna tell you kid stories. Today, I will be helping you fall asleep with a nice folk tale from Nigeria. Well, the author is anonymous and unknown, of course. As you know, folk tales are not really known by the authors. They are known because they've been told through generations. So, we shall begin. A long time ago, when the world was new, the sun and the moon were married. They lived together on earth and visited each other pretty often. It's cool, huh? They're married, but they only visit each other often. Probably they've got a lot to do and they're busy. The sun, bright and warm, had a cheerful personality. He loved throwing big fists and inviting his friends to enjoy his hospitality. The sun seems like an extrovert. The moon was quieter and gentler, with a soft light that made everyone feel calm and peaceful. The moon seems like a calm presence to be in. The sun and the moon were very much in love, and their home was a lovely place where laughter and joy never seemed to end. The sun was friends with lovely water, who shimmered and sparkled wherever she went. She was kind and generous, always ready to help anyone in need. But there was one problem. The sun and the moon had never invited water to their house, though they often visited her vast, flowing rivers and streams. The flowing rivers are coming away. They hesitated to return the favor. One day, as the sun visited water, she asked him, "My dear friend, why have you never invited me to your home? I welcome you to my waters often, but I have never seen where you live." The sun felt a bit embarrassed. He scratched his head and said, "Water, you're always welcome to visit us. It's just, well, our house is not very big. You are so large and powerful, and I worry we cannot make space for you." Water laughed, her voice rippling like a gentle stream. "That is kind of you to say, son. But if you truly value our friendship, you must invite me. I will come with all my people, and we will enjoy your hospitality together. Sounds weird, huh? The sun promised. Very well, Water. I will prepare my home and invite you soon. Sounds like trouble coming his way. The sun returned home and told the moon about his promise. Moon, we must build a much bigger house. Water is coming to visit, and she will bring all her people, rivers, lakes, streams, and even the tiniest raindrops. The moon looked worried. How can we ever build a house big enough for all of water and people? She asked. We must try. We cannot break our promise. Water is our dear friend, and she has always welcomed us into her home. And so the sun and the moon began to work. They built and built, making their house bigger and bigger. They used tallest trees for beams and the strongest stones for walls. Day after day, their home grew larger until it became the biggest house everyone or anyone had ever seen. Finally, the sun said, "It is ready. Let us invite Water to visit." When Water arrived, she stood at the doorway with her people behind her. She looked around and said, "This is a lovely house, but are you sure it is big enough for me and all my people?" Too needy. The sun, eager to impress her, said, "Of course, Water, come in, come in." Water began to flow into the house, her sparkling waves filling the rooms. Behind her came her waves, her people, streams, rivers, lakes, all pushing in. At first, the sun and the moon stood proudly, welcoming their guest. But soon, Water rose higher and higher. It covered the floor, then the furniture, and then it reached the sun's knees. Is it still okay for us to come in? She's got a double personality. She asked. Water. The sun hesitated, but said, "Yes, yes. There is still room. Please continue." More of Water's people poured in, and soon the water reached the sun's shoulders. The moon, who was much smaller, had to climb onto a high shelf to avoid
being swept away.
Are you sure there is still space?
Water asked again. Could you read the signs? The sun, though worried, did not want to seem rude.
Yes, of course. Come in,
he said. The water continued to rise until it reached the ceiling. The sun and moon, unable to stay in their house any longer, climbed up onto the roof. But even the roof was soon covered, and the sun and the moon were forced to float up into the sky. From there, they looked down at the house, which was now completely submerged. The rivers, lakes, and streams flowed out into the light, spreading water's people far and wide. The sun turned to the moon and said, I only wanted to be a good host. I didn't think this would happen. The moon sighed. We should have thought more carefully about the consequences. But now that we are here, we will have to stay. And so, the sun and the moon made their home in the sky, where they could shine down over the world. Water, who had spread out across the earth, became part of every river, lake, and ocean. Even now, the sun and the moon take turns watching over the earth. The sun shines brightly during the day, warming the land and making things grow. The moon watches over the night, casting her soft light on water's shimmering waves. Though they no longer live together, the sun, the moon, and water remain connected, each playing an important role in the world. Are you still awake?